How's it going, everybody? So I just finished up a badass workout and I'm about to drink my second protein smoothie. Okay. I train for performance, not for big muscles and whatnot. I train for functional strength and martial arts performance, but maximum strength and power is a big focus. Anyway, it's very, very important that you get enough protein for athletic performance, and a lot of people are very confused about how much protein that would be because the government recommendations give off guidelines for the general population, and that is usually the absolute minimum intake required to sustain life, which is very low, something like zero point 0.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight, which is very low. And I feel like crap if I eat that low of protein, and most people seem to. But of course, vegans, they have their own bias and want to believe otherwise, but it's cool. Let them waste away. Not that veganism is necessarily unhealthy, but anyway, if you're vegan, you're not going to like this video, so just don't watch it because you're just going to be butthurt. And I have nothing against vegans at all. So I have some against irrational butthurt people. But anyway, this is a raw egg smoothie. I use organic pasture raised eggs. That's pasture raised. They're raised on pasture, not pasteurized. You don't want to be eating pasteurized anything. Okay. Now, a lot of people have a um, like a irrational fear of eating anything raw, really, but especially raw eggs, raw meat, etc. But especially raw eggs. Um, the government has, recommendations for cooking eggs and cooking meat thoroughly and yada yada because of fear of any kind of bacterial infections or something you might have. So there's a couple things to think about, first of all. Conventionally raised eggs, your chance of getting salmonella is something like 500 out of 1 or 1,000 out of 1. And that's conventionally raised eggs. And I don't remember what the exact statistics are, but it's something pretty crazy, all right? It basically is very rare that you would get salmonella. And if there is salmonella on the eggs, it's going to be on the egg shells, not inside the egg. But most people still are scared to eat raw eggs in general. It's actually a very common practice around the world to eat raw eggs. Putting raw eggs in an avocado or raw eggs in a raw meat tartare or whatever it's called. Bodybuilders from back in the day used to do it all the time. But just because it's a common practice doesn't necessarily mean it's safe. But people do it all the time, all around the world, and they're not scared of getting bacterial infections. I myself have been eating raw eggs pretty much every day for a couple years now, actually. I go through a couple months on, sometimes I don't do it for a couple months, yada yada. But it's a great source of easily digestible protein. It's not cooked. The enzymes are still intact. There's vitamin D in the yolk, and since these are pasture raised, they're getting plenty of sunlight. And none of the nutrients are destroyed by heating. Also, the protein will not be denatured. And of course, raw egg white, there's fear that it might leach out biotin from the body, which I believe is vitamin B7, because of the type of protein it is. And if you cook it, supposedly it inactivates that protein. But at the same time, the egg yolk has an awful lot of biotin in it. So the theory is that it compensates for whatever biotin you might be lost from the protein. And it's not like it leaches biotin from your body, it hinders the absorption, or so they say. But as we've seen time and time again, anytime science says something like, if you drink caffeine, you're going to likely get anxious and yada yada. But what about caffeine found in green tea? Well, we know that there's compounds in the whole plant that offsets any negative effects you might have from the caffeine. You know, the theanine, the polyphenols, they balance out the effects. So usually whole foods have synergistic nutrients that work in relationship with other nutrients to, you know, give you positive effects and yada yada. For example, the egg yolk has a lot of cholesterol, but it also contains a lot of choline and other nutrients that help to clear your body of cholesterol. But a lot of people just focus on the cholesterol instead of thinking holistically and looking at the bigger picture. And so what I'm trying to get at is this fear of biotin deficiency from egg whites is irrational, likely irrational. And I've been doing it for years, and I mean, yeah, I've been bald, but I've been bald like before I was doing egg yolks and egg white protein or whatever the fuck. Point is, so it's not the monster people think it is. There's many people that, you know, post on YouTube of them drinking raw eggs and yada yada, and they've been doing it for years and they're fine. Same thing with people doing raw meat, which I don't really eat raw meat on a regular basis. But there's the other thing is like, okay, so conventionally raised eggs, you have a low chance of getting salmonella. But if you eat organic pasture-raised eggs from an actual farm where they don't scrape off the protective outer layer of the egg and go through all that bullshit process, and it's from healthier chickens, it's a healthier, more humane process, your chances of getting bacterial infections or salmonella from raw eggs goes from 500 out of 1 to something like 20,000 to 1. Like, it's so unlikely. And if you're really scared, you could scrape off like the outer shell of the egg and then break it open and eat them raw, but why the fuck would you do that? I think that's a little overkill because, you know, it doesn't make sense on the outer layer. And beyond that, most people that are scared of bacterial infections don't need to be, but there are some people who are more likely to get an infection. So just because a food might have bacteria on it, and by the way, all food has bacteria on it, okay? There's no way that you can eat food that's completely sanitary, okay? Bacteria is all around us, and even us as a human organism, we're more bacteria than we are human cells. There's harmful bacteria, yes, but the point is you can't get rid of it completely. You can only minimize your exposure and minimize the amount of bacteria that you eat, okay? But most people consume way more bacteria than they realize on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, I believe E. coli is actually a natural part of our stomach bacteria. It's actually part of the healthy bacteria. Problem is when we consume too much of it. And so just because you consume salmonella doesn't mean you're going to be infected or even notice anything from it. But if your immune system is deficient, for example, people with AIDS or HIV, people who have chronic allergies or respiratory infection symptoms, usually it's not necessarily allergies, even though they're convinced that it is, but it's usually just that they have a low-functioning immune system. They're convinced by our doctors that they have an over-functioning immune response, but chances are their immune system is absolutely fucked. And the elderly, you know, they probably have lower immune systems. So anybody with a hindered immune system is more susceptible to infection. But raw eggs are not, it's not really logical or rational to be scared of eating them. If you're eating healthy eggs from organic, pasture-raised farms, you shouldn't have any problem. And if you still think that raw eggs are bad for you, you should look at all the people that have been eating raw eggs for years and how they're fine, and do more research. Leave your questions and comments down below, and I'll talk to you soon.